Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can I get a show? Well, I guess it shows a list. There's Kristen. Hi, Kristen. Amanda, Dana, Tori. There's a lot of folks in the room. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you guys. Hi, Tana, Rachel, Alejandra, some ex-students, some new students, Elisa. Good morning from Seoul. Okay, so we have a tightly packed agenda. Jessica, hi. Jessica took 21 DOMA months ago, but she joins every month and Q&A, which I love, and I think is the highest use of this. Hi, Jody. Okay, so who here is taking both? And who here is taking 21 days of a major? Hi, Susie. Who here is taking both? If you are taking both, I recommend you to stay till the end. Lori and Kristen in the house. Okay, perfect. Love it. Some people keep asking me, like, do I take one or should I take one first or the other? And I'm like, you can take both. Doesn't really matter. Finding North Star is relatively at your own pace. All right. So let's start with 21 on day 5. Okay. Hi, resident alien. Okay. So 21 days of major arcana. Amazing. Okay. If you have not yet even started 21 days of major arcana, I recommend you to really pay close attention during this live to try to get the best out of it. I'm starting 21 days of major arcana and amazing. Okay. All right, so I need a volunteer for whoever's taking 21 days of major arcana. I need a volunteer to kind of share with the group, a life event that you're working through, and then I'm going to do my work. Okay, I want to do my work to help you apply the program front to back. Remember how I asked everybody to come with the dream, the nightmare, and the obstacle? So volunteer to share your life experience, and I'm going to introduce the 4th act and kind of bring it all together. And hopefully, if you've completed the 21 days of major arcana, this will completely make sense to you, how you can heal from front to back using any life event, using the structure of movies, mystical tools, so on and so forth. Okay, sounds good, Rachel. Cindy, go for it. And anybody who's in the room that have not taken either, please pay attention so that you know what the program is about. Okay, so let's have Cindy and Amanda both share a life event. And please only share to the extent that you feel comfortable. And let's move through this relatively fast so that we can move on to Find Your North Star. Because the Find Your North Star examples are always more intense because we're talking about people's life decisions and career decisions. I mean, everything's intense, but so Cindy, why don't you go ahead and share with us your dream, your nightmare, your obstacle, and then I reveal the 4th act. And by the way, you guys, those things also align with the major arcana cards. The major arcana cards have their own arc. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And Skylar is joining us this morning. Skylar, you want to come up here? And anybody else who has a question that they have for me, just feel free to drop it in. Just feel free to drop in the questions. And let me put on some the music. I think Cindy and Amanda are typing. Yeah, she answers me. She's like a really I'm putting on some Hawaii music in the background. Yeah. Kristen, correct me if I'm wrong. There are a lot of names, but I think I've sent you an email. I think you're the right Kristen. I just want to make sure you got it. So Cindy says, my dream is to be happy with my children. Okay. Were you planning on replying or are you good? Just want to make sure I'm not dropping anyone. My dream is to be happy with my children. My obstacle is that I give my power away. Okay. Um, I'm curious what they have to do with one another. Give your power away to what? And also, what's your nightmare, Cindy? Your dream is to be happy with your children. Is your nightmare that you won't be happy with your children? Okay, got it. No problem. So is your nightmare to not be happy with is your nightmare that you wouldn't be happy with your children? Oh, and the additional obstacle is that you have self-doubt. Okay, got it. So I'm assuming the self-doubt is a result of something. Finances, self-doubt as a mother, maybe constrained resources such as time and energy. So if you guys, the ones that who took 21 DOMA, you understand that I talked significantly about the brain, right? And how the brain literally like fucks with how you perceive reality and therefore fucks with your intuition, right? So what we're doing right now with Cindy is helping her rewire her brain, helping her perceive reality and the narrative differently. A lot of us can't do that until we hit the tower moment in tarot, which is sad. You shouldn't have to do that to change your life, but a lot of us do. A lot of us have to hit that tower moment before we go, oh, something has to fucking change. My nightmare is that we always stuck in the same place, never moving forward. There's definitely a backstory here, Cindy, that I'm not aware of. Okay, so everyone is clear on Cindy's dream nightmare obstacle. I'm gonna give you the fourth act in a second, Cindy, okay? My dream is to build self-esteem and keep toxic people away my personal relationships, okay? And what's your nightmare and obstacle? Cindy, I also need additional detail because there's something missing here. And if you don't feel comfortable with sharing the group, that's okay. But what seems to be missing, Cindy, is you said you want to be happy with your kids, but you feel stuck right now, and the obstacles that you don't have enough self-esteem. What is the actual current state of being? What is the current stuckness? What does that look like? What's going on? It already got you shook. I'm so happy, Abigail. Love that, Jessica. Nightmare. Okay, so Amanda says nightmare is making choices based on pleasing others. So, okay, so everyone following along, my dream is to build self-esteem and keep toxic people away within my personal relationships. Nightmare is making choices based on pleasing. Okay, fair, totally fair. I feel like Cindy's trying to share, not share, share, not share. Okay, I need everybody to focus on Cindy and Amanda for me. They're sharing their energy and their experiences, and there's a lot that we can learn from here. We're seeing energy in action. I'm so happy for you, Sylvia. There's people that go back and take this again and again because it's lifetime access. They go back and take this so that they can take a new life experience and put through it. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I know. I should start telling people, like, I keep talking about do the work, do the work, do the work. And I feel like 21 DOMA is like perfect frame for that. Like this is how you should really do the work. Okay, Cindy and Abigail dropped off the planet. Amanda, what is your obstacle? And Cindy, could you share a little bit more about what the current state is? In an unhappy marriage, my mother is sick in hospice. Okay, got it. And you feel like those events are preventing you from being able to forge a happy relationship with your children, which is, I understand, it's completely fair. But you see how that was like a really big backdrop? That was something we all had to know. So Cindy, Cindy and Amanda and anybody else taking 21 DOMA, the fourth act, this is where the rewiring happens, and this is a really big cinema secret, screenwriter secret. Having to co-parent with my ex and healing from trauma. That's the obstacle. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. That's so interesting, Amanda. So fascinating. Okay, okay. All right, I'm not ignoring anyone. I just have to zero in on Cindy and Amanda. Okay, so Cindy's dream was to be in a happy family relationship dynamic with her kids. The nightmare is that, what was the nightmare? That she'll stay stuck, and the stuckness is in an unhappy marriage, right? And a mother taking care of a mother who's sick. The obstacle is that she has self-doubt. Now, the fourth act, her brain keeps tricking her into thinking that she's stuck and that she can't move forward. That's literally what Cindy's brain is doing to her. The fourth act, which is a new dream or achieving the dream. So, Cindy, we already know that your dream is to be in a happy family dynamic with your kids. That is one dream, and that could absolutely come true if you make the right decisions, right? If you gain the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to break free from your marriage and move forward, you can absolutely have this. But let's just say you cannot achieve that. This is where a perspective shift needs to happen, perceiving reality differently. What is a new dream, Cindy, that you can possibly have? What is a new dream, Cindy? And I can help you with this if you're like, I can't see it, I can't see it. But I've worked with enough people to know that you can totally see it and choose that new reality. And Amanda, if everyone's following along, Amanda's dream was cutting out toxic people. The nightmare is that she can't do that for whatever reason, and people pleasing. And the obstacle is that it's because she has to continue to be involved with her toxic ex and co-parent. So, Amanda, what is a brand new dream that you can potentially pursue in the event that you can't pursue your original dream of cutting out toxic people? It sounds like you have to continue to coexist or somehow be in touch with your toxic ex. So somehow, some way, you have to convince yourself that you really can't ultimately give your power away unless you do that consciously to somebody else. So toxic people can be in your vicinity, but they don't have to really be in your energy, right? So what is a new dream? If you feel like this is difficult, whoever's watching this video, if you're feeling like that's hard, that's because it is. That's because 99.9% of us live this way, with the inability to see the possibilities. And if we don't see it, if we don't see the possibilities, guess what? That's when you got to bite the bullet and make some tough fucking decisions. And no one can do that for you. There is no psychic that can tell you, it's going to happen, don't worry. They're a liar. It won't happen until you make a fucking decision. You will move the planets. Trust me, you will move the planets to make things happen. I've seen miracles happen. Okay, Sydney says, I don't know. Abigail, dream help my rural southern community to be a place where people are able to be authentic. Cindy, can you leave the marriage? This is gonna start getting triggering, you guys. This will start getting triggering. Is it an option, Cindy? I'm just checking. Is it an option to leave the marriage, or are there way too many complications to do that right now? New dream: be in control of topics, stay on information exchanges, weed out emotion exchanges. That's Cindy. Then you're already on the way. That's awesome. No, that's awesome, Cindy. Wait, so Amanda says be in control of top. Okay, so basically you're saying get control of the conversation between you and your ex. Is that right? Cindy, you're already on the way. So divorce is in flight. So, Cindy, it sounds like you're already on track to achieve your current dream. And Amanda, it sounds like you've already put energetic boundaries in place so that he can't hijack your power or make you feel a certain way middle of a conversation. Cindy, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of like, well, what if the divorce doesn't work out? Like, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I think you've made a commitment, and I think it's a good commitment, and I think you got to stick to it. And I think you have to, I think the worst case scenario for you, Cindy, honestly, is letting the self doubt or letting your husband convince you to stay, steering you away from your original path. That's the worst thing that could happen, Cindy. And no one can make you to force make no one can force you to reverse a decision but you. So Cindy, what can you do to solidify and continue to commit to your dream? We talked about this in 21 DOMA. Solar plexus. Solar plexus. You got to commit to strengthening your solar plexus and constantly tapping into your heart chakra and reminding yourself why you're doing this. The dream, you guys, every single person that took 21 days of Major Arcana, if you took well, of course you took it, but like the dream portion is what activates the heart chakra. And we talk a lot about, even if you took Finding North Star as well, we talk about how you can literally alter your reality. You can literally alter your future by tapping into your heart frequency. This is why the future is never set in stone. I'm probably sharing a little bit too much about what the class entails at this point. But you can literally alter your reality by tapping into your heart chakra. So, Cindy, keep reminding yourself why your kids deserve the best in the world and why they deserve the best version of you and nothing less. And Amanda, you also got the solar plexus. I got really lucky with you ladies in the sense that like you've both made the decisions. It's just a matter of like continuously like cheering yourself and rallying yourself around that decision and working on your chakras. Yeah. I'm so glad, Halston. Trauma has told, yeah, that happens to a lot of people. Yay! Yeah, you got this, Cindy and Amanda. Cindy and Amanda, gut reaction, comments, thoughts, feelings. Did that make sense, what I just said? Does anybody else have questions? Jacqueline, it's so good to have you. Everybody who's watching this, if you are faced with a decision or a situation where you're just kind of like, I feel like this is fixed, I don't know how to move forward. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. Keep activating that heart chakra. Keep dropping into that bliss. Caitlin, I'm so happy. Really quickly, for people who are in this room, I know some of you guys are interested in the business growth program, especially if you took Find Your North Star. I don't think people understand how much discount you get if you're a member. Like, it's crazy. Like, shamans get like 20% off and mystics get like 10% off. And that actually adds up quite a bit given the size of the program that's coming up in June. So consider becoming a member if you were thinking about taking the class, the workshop, I mean, next month. And also, I'm still interviewing people. So if you're interested in taking that, let me just drop it here just in case, especially people that took Find Your North Star. Because a lot of people are coming out of that being like, I want to start my own business and I want to do it like yesterday and I want to use social media for it. So apply using this link and I'll reach out to you for an interview. Okay. 21 DOMA students, any other questions you have for me? That is the completion. The dream, the nightmare, the obstacle, and the new dream. Thank you, Pisces effect. That's what I've been told. And I don't know, the 21 DOMA is like really packed with shit. Like sometimes I wonder if people like actually go through every single video and worksheet. As I'm working through 21 DOMA again, am I dealing with myself? Am I derailing myself if more than one event comes? No, you're not derailing yourself. It's okay. Your brain can handle it. I love the videos. Tana's going through love it, Tana. Love it, Tana. I print the worksheets. That's incredible. Okay, awesome. Does everyone know how to become a member? Y'all know how to become a member, right? You click on the join button. You have to be on a computer or a desktop. So it's much easier that way. It's much, much easier that way. So you guys ready for Find Your North Star, which is some intense shit? Not everyone likes it because they're really put on the spot. How do I get over the triggers and anxiety? Okay, really fast. Everyone in this room who's not yet a member, if you would like to become a member for future discounts and replays, and because this will be privated for members only. It has to be. I can't have this be public. Here is the link to become a member. Okay. Inception is a dope ass movie. You guys realize that Cobb was living a life through the lens of guilt. It's almost like he like hypnotized Maul, right? And while she was in her theta state, he made her believe something. So that really altered her interpretation of reality, which led her to kill herself. And Cobb, then out of guilt, did the same for himself. Like hypnotized himself to believe that like he was responsible for her death, which he kind of is. But then that completely changed the course of. Thank you. I appreciate that. So did everyone understand about Inception? Did everybody understand that about Inception? Yes. It was so deep. See, whenever I tell people like it's a romantic movie, they're like, no, it's not. It's a heist movie. And I'm like, okay, whatever. People are not. Stop taking movies at face value. Like dig deeper, study the characters. I'm a film major. I mean, okay, no, I'm not a film major, but I took enough film classes to be like almost like a film major. Both films and tarot, they both leverage symbolic insight to reveal truths about the human psyche. There's a lot of wisdom in that you can extract to apply it to yourself. It's so emotional, so emotional. Yeah, people think it's a movie about theft, and I'm like, in a literal sense, it is. But all right, find your North Star. Let's do this. I need two. Well, Dana, he did right. That's what 21 Days of Major kind of talks about. You were hypnotized as a child. You're hypnotized by your parents, by society, by television, like cartoons. How you should live your life. Up and if you psychics and mediums, when they work with like a grown-ass person, they can almost guess what happened to them as a kid. If you're struggling in relationships, there's a good chance that you were raised by parents who didn't teach you boundaries, or if anything, stole your boundaries, right? So in that movie, Cobb hypnotized Maul in her sleep. I mean, they were both sleeping, but like he planted something in her head. I feel like 21 Days reached the parts of me I haven't been in touch since I was a kid. Also, thank you so much for recommending that movie. Yay! I am so glad, Amanda. Um, I'm gonna have to copy and paste that shit. That was so good, Amanda. Um, okay. I am so glad that I am spending my morning with you guys. Yeah, Abigail, that happens all the time. That explains a lot of things. And that must have been so difficult. Okay, I need 2 volunteers who took Find Your North Star. If you took it and you're like, dude, I still don't know what the fuck I should be doing, I need you to speak up right now. 2 people, 2 volunteers. "21 Days helped me realize I pick people in my life and how to move forward, how to be selective on who I give my energy to." Hell yeah. Yeah, because we're taught to not have boundaries, especially women. We're taught to just be like these like endlessly giving ephemeral beings. Like the fuck. It's not how that's not how shit works. You can't show up strongly in a relationship if you don't have your own like energy independence. It's just how it is. Boundaries exist so that you can be healthy in a relationship, not unhealthy. I didn't eat breakfast. My stomach's rumbling. It doesn't mean I'm hungry. It's just I just make those sounds. Hey, Penny. I'm still not certain of my direction because I feel I have conflicting midheaven north node. Okay. So Abigail and Tori. Hold on one second. I thought my family was calling me, but they were not. Okay, so who do we have? Tori, and then I think it was Abigail. Okay, Abigail, what is your north node? What is your midheaven? And what is your energy type? Human design energy type. And what are you confused about? And I'm not saying that to be interrogative. Like I need information so I can help you. And Tori, I need you to share the same information. North node is Capricorn, second house, okay? Wow, that's kind of like the perfect house for Capricorn to be in. Midheaven Virgo, okay? And what do you do right now, Abigail? What's your human design type? Come on, let's go. What is your human design type? And what do you do right now? And Tori, I need you to share the same information. But what is your actual type? Like generator, manifester? Your midheaven is in Taurus. My north node is in Aquarius. Okay. See, I fucking knew it. Every single time sorry, like, please don't take offense to this. Every single time someone is confused as fuck, they're usually projectors. I'm not even kidding. And that's because society teaches projectors to be like generators, even manifestors actually, and me, reflector. So I'm really glad that I have 2 projector volunteers, which is like 20% of the population. There's a free human design test you can take. Or you can take Find Your North Star. Okay. So let's start with Abigail. Oh, Abigail, what do you do now? Right. Right. So you left your career and it sounds like you're trying to do your own thing. Is that right? Um, so Abigail, I guess I need information on how you plan to use this information. Is it because you're going through a career change? Abigail, you're really good at mastering systems and uncovering inefficiencies. That's the midheaven in Virgo. Y'all are very detail oriented, very analytical. So no matter what you choose to do, you'll be the person that always brings the details. And you're probably going to use that ability to guide other people because you're a projector. I think where you might have the hang up is the North Node in Capricorn. Abigail, are you trying to start your own business online? Think you might want to check out the Grow Your Business program or the mentorship program with me. I'm just saying, did you already apply? I can't even keep track. Wait, did you? I don't think you did, but I recommend it. Okay, so Abigail, no matter what you do, you're supposed to be bringing in details, structure, and solidarity. You're gonna have plenty of time because it starts next month. It's interesting because I think there's something that needs to be done. Well, how do you like to? Okay. So, but what did you put down on the worksheet as far as like what you spend a lot of time thinking about? This is key, you guys. This is so important. Yeah, you have to be honest with yourself about what you actually spend thinking about, like the problems in the world, like what kind of shit you want to solve for. Because the problems that you solve and that you're passionate about is like the hidden secret that makes you additionally stand out from everyone else who shares your midheaven and your north node. Think about it. There's people on this planet who probably shares your north node and your midheaven. Spiritual oppression and personality expression. Oh, I love that. I love that, Abigail. I love that. If you don't mind me asking, Abigail, what is your fifth house in? What sign rules your fifth house? What sign rules your fifth house? I almost wonder if you are really good at bringing structure to abstract, esoteric ideas. And Abigail, why do you think that hurts people? Why do you think the world is a shitty place because of that? I know the answer. I need you to say it because that will be the key on your next steps. Is everyone watching? Is everyone following along? This, you guys, I need you guys to pay attention. Everyone, whether or not you took Finding North Star, I need to pay attention and listen to this very, very carefully. This is the work that I do with people on one-on-one. It looks straightforward. It's not, because there's a lot of hidden thoughts. And Abigail, you said you want to start your own thing online. You know what the issue is that you want to work with. I need you to start thinking about how you can solve for it. And I'm not saying you have to go in and change the Vatican, but it has to start with how you think it affects people and what are some small levers you have to redirect them. If you figure that out, super easy to market that. And don't worry, we're going to come back to the midheaven and the north node. It's going to be 180 or 360. However, and Tori, I hope you're getting ready to talk about you in a second. And Tori, I know you said things are contradicting. They're not contradicting at all. Your north node and your midheaven. It hurts people's ability to think for themselves. Love it. But how does that impact their lives? How does it impact their lives that they can't think for themselves? I think trying to get the best estimate is a good idea, Jody. Trying to get the best estimate. As long as it's within 2 hours, it's good. You guys, the work that we're doing right now, what's the issue? How do you solve for it? How does it affect people's lives? You know, we're doing this work because it taps into the heart chakra. Whenever I tell people to tap into the heart, this is what I'm talking about. You have to literally allow yourself to feel the pain or the joy. It takes away their prosperity. It keeps them from expanding into their true self with core values that everyone can benefit from. Okay, your fifth house is Aries. So you like to be creative by taking charge. So Abigail, I guess my question to you then is, what are some things, or remember Abigail, your highest gift is to bring structure and discipline within people's lives or an industry. That's really your highest gift. So your north node and your midheaven is actually kind of traditional, right? Because you're someone who likes to reinforce rules and reinforce structure. And yet what you're advocating for is very much anti that. So what kind of structure and discipline can you help people restore in their own lives so they can be disciplined about pursuing their authenticity and disciplined about not listening to religious authorities? Did everyone get that? Did everyone catch that? You see how Abigail energetically is a certain way? In theory, you're supposed to thrive in religion. But what you stand for is so against that. It's about authenticity. So how can you leverage like the whistleblower and the researcher and the analytical energy to pursue something that is very much against that? So a very easy, just very obvious, very low-hanging fruit example is midheaven and Virgo. They're writers. They love writing. Abigail, one easy way to get yourself out there is to write about this shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you just said that when I talked about writing. See, Abigail, I didn't know that, but you plucked that out because you're analytical and you're very researchy. And honestly, like with the North Node in Capricorn, Abigail, it sounds like honestly, you just have to come up with like a way to get your ideas out there about this stuff to literally evangelize, right? That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, am I crazy? And if you want to talk about next steps, I mean, the North Node in Capricorn makes you very ambitious, and with the Aries, like you're very ambitious actually. So it's like, so you're at a point, you're at a very interesting juncture where you're like, how can I get my ideas out there and achieve my goals? It's this is actually a very straightforward thing. You got to figure out how you can like kind of capitalize on your ideas and latch onto a small product or service that can like be a beacon or a carrier of your messaging. And that's the North Node in Capricorn, to be honest with you guys are all about winning. You're kind of lucky. It's like as long as you're winning, like you'd be pretty happy. That's my take on North Node and Capricorns. It's not like a North Node in Aquarius where like you have to save people. It's not like a North Node in Scorpio where you have to figure out a way to make passive income. It's not like that. Like, and with the fifth house in Aries, it's all about taking charge and being a leader. So if you have a conviction, be a leader on that. That's your next step. And but with the projector energy, you're really here to guide other people too. So maybe you got to figure out a way to create like almost like a rehab facility for like abused religious women or something. Sorry, that's like so extreme, but you know what I'm talking about. But I agree with you that like this would probably have to be your own venture as opposed to like working for someone. Because how do you work for someone like this? Like this is very unique what you're talking about. Like I didn't know that the Bible had that information. I mean, I'm not shocked at all, but like this is something that you plucked out, which is a very projector thing to do, by the way, to also notice those things. And you can also probably like look into someone's like state and figure out how they're a victim of like religious abuse. You can probably do that because you're a projector. All right, in the interest of time, let's do Tori real fast. Tori, you're still there? You guys, this is why I keep saying in Find Your North Star, this is why I keep saying don't look at jobs that already exist. Don't do that. Don't look at jobs that already exist because in like Abigail's case, as you can see, you're supposed to make your own job. You're supposed to make your own career. Like me doing what I'm doing right now, this didn't exist before, right? Someone that bridges all the different things within spirituality. You got to make your own path. We're in the okay. So Tori, you said love that, Abigail. Love that. That's dope as shit. It's also a very unique mission. Just letting you know. That definitely has to be a business. Just saying. All right, Tori, you said midheaven in Taurus, which makes you very artistic, and North Node in Aquarius, which makes you very humanitarian, and a projector. Beautiful. What do you do right now, Tori? Also, can I see who's still in the room? Just say here. I'm curious. Kristen, Amanda, Alejandra, Cindy, Lori. What do y'all think? Is this helpful? Like hearing this is like we're gonna do Tori and we're gonna wrap up and I'm gonna take eight. Well, before I wrap, I'm gonna take any other final questions. That's why I'm just checking. But is this helpful? Of course, Abigail. I work in finance real estate, which is yeah, I would agree. Was thinking of becoming a realtor. I recently was invited to join a different company in my same in a more creative role. So Tori, let's ask the $1 million question, which is what would you like to change or why are you unhappy? Maybe I was mistaken thinking midheaven and Taurus meant more money focused gig and less artsy. Well, okay, but Taurians are all about creating wealth through beauty. So real estate absolutely applies. You're lucky, Tori, because I know a lot of midheavens and Taurus who actually pursue traditional art and end up broke. They got a little too literal. Fucking stupid, man. I don't know. Sorry, I sound really. I don't know. I have a whole backstory. Just bear with me. Um, um. So Tori, the big question is, my heart always bingo. My heart has always been in the arts. See, the heart wants what it wants. You still doesn't have to listen to your heart. Yeah. Oh my God. Classic Taurus dilemma. It's like not even funny. Like the classic Taurus dilemma. Okay. It sounds like you don't really have an issue with your job. You just wish it was more creative. Is that right, Tori? It's like sounds like you're really good at what you do. The big issue with projectors too is that you got to be energy conscious. So if you're at a job or a company that you're doing a lot of like grind, it's not going to be the most sustainable. So Tori, what I would ask you to do is, first of all, it seems like this class was a token of validation for you that you're not crazy to have a creative itch. But the next step is to very practically think about what kind of creative stuff you like to do. And you can propose that to your boss, being like, hey, I would like this set of responsibilities. Or find a job or gig that gives you that responsibility. Or do something on the side for yourself, like a small business that can like nurture that need of yours. You have three options, and you're in a really good place because you're getting your bills paid. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Not even passive, but like active. I was also thinking like interior design, to be honest. Good question. This applies to Abigail too. And Jessica's in the room, so Jessica can probably. No, maybe Jessica left, actually. Jessica pops in and out. Tana, good for you, Chica. I love it. So the thing with projectors is, Jessica's here. So Jessica's very familiar with where I stand on this shit. You gotta constantly put yourself out there, put your message out there. It's the same thing for Abigail. This is why content creation is so important. You gotta keep putting yourself out there. Don't worry about what somebody's gonna say. Don't worry about whether or not someone's gonna judge. Like, don't give a fuck that much. And if they do, they don't have a life. The key is to keep putting yourself out there so that someone notices your idea and stands behind you, like a manifestor or manifesting generator, even a generator. So you can't literally wait for the invite. What Rahu, the creator, when he says wait for the invite, he doesn't mean just like sit around and not do anything. He means don't be frustrated if you do take action and nothing comes to you initially, because it just takes time. But it doesn't mean just sit back. It means actually be proactive, but just manage your expectations and try to be strategic about where you direct your energy. Jessica, baby steps. You got to start from somewhere. I'm sure you crushed it. And Jessica is taking the launch her business using content next month, and she's a coach. So she's already getting a head start. She's already, whatever the fucking phrase is. She's already getting a head start by creating content, pushing it out. And within the program, we're going to get peer review, peer feedback. You're going to have an accountability buddy. You're going to have a content strategy. It's going to be a ton of fun. Yeah, Tori, that's a wise way to start. I feel like I got really lucky today. I feel like Tori and Abigail are relatively easy cases. I know that for people, the biggest hangup is like, but how do I get this out there? Or like, what if I'm not safe financially? Shit was hard 100 years ago. It's not hard now. I promise you. I'm a living proof. And so is Tana. All right. I'm just gonna say this. I feel like Tori and Abigail, if you guys are, around, available, and willing and committed to do your own thing in whatever capacity, I think you should check out the Grow Your Business Using Content program. I'm just saying. Because you just sound like you could benefit so much from it. And it's not even just going to be content creation. I'm going to show you email marketing, how to set up your product and business that's aligned for your energy type. You're also a projector, so there's only so much you can sell before you get burnt out. I'm just being honest with you. These are things you have to start thinking about. So now let's open up the floor for questions, comments, other types of feedback. People who are watching this and you're like, oh my God, I have this idea and I want to like launch this business, I want to do this thing, and there's no other company, there's no other job that's going to understand or give me the opportunity to do so. You got to do your own thing. That's not an issue, Abigail. Absolutely not. So you do you, boo. Do you offer any sessions where we can do one-on-one? So what you could do is book me on intro. Right now, like I'm not reading as much because I am focusing on the next class. And if this is your first time hearing about it, you're like, what the fuck is that? This is it. Apply. I can't take everybody. This is on a limited basis, just so you know. So Tori, you might want to check that out. But Elle, you could find me on Intro, the app, or you could DM me and we can figure something out. Is it common that pieces of your South Node past life keep trying to trickle into your North Node present life? Yes. Yes, that's the whole point of South Node. It keeps being like, hello, you used to be this. The big thing, Tori, for Aquarius North Node and Taurus, Leo South Node, is that it's very easy for you to be in the spotlight. But the key is for you to not use that abusively. And with the Aquarius North Node, I noticed there's a lot of people who are very famous who, start out in the arts, but they end up using their art to help people. Of course, Abigail, it is my absolute pleasure. It is my absolute pleasure. And if that's all you can swing, that's totally fine. Yeah, like some of my favorite rappers, they start out just like rapping about, whatever rappers rap about, and then they transition to rapping about like humanitarian stuff. Like you can't help it. They use their platform to like spread messages about love and whatnot. Tana, you can just, I mean, I feel like most meditations are, it doesn't even really matter what kind of music you use. It's more about the intention of where you put the energy on your body. Yes, intro. But you can also DM me, L. All right. Any other questions, comments? L, let me see if I can give you a link. Um, yeah, if anybody's like, I'm interested in a 15-minute talk or whatever, you can just go to this. But I also have to make some sessions available. What disqualifies is it's actually very situational, Pisces effect. It depends on the person. But one person got disqualified because she was like, I want to start a YouTube channel. It's like, okay, talk about what? I don't know. Okay, that's not, first of all, that's not, just do it. You don't need me. Um, you gotta be more defined and have a bit of a more passionate mission. I recommend alpha. Alpha, theta both work. Theta for some deep shit. If you want some deeper programming and more quickly, I would do theta, but they both work really well. Some people even do delta, which I think is like, at that point, you're just sleeping. Did I answer your question, Pisces? People are so worried about like ROI and like the return. I'm like, I'm pretty confident you can get results after working with me. Like you guys are watching someone who's changed career many times, started a business within 6 months. It's like I feel like I know what I'm talking about. Just saying. Just saying. You sleep to beta. All right. Any other questions, comments? Yay! I'm so happy that you guys showed up today. Make sure you can make sure you DM me on Discord. Thank you guys. It was such a beautiful energy exchange. It was lovely to have you. I will make this replay available for members only, just so you guys know. So take care. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you guys on other platforms. Bye-bye. See ya.